On December 10, 2023, Javier Milei assumed the presidency of Argentina, marking a significant change in the nation's leadership. Since that time, international tensions have increased, especially with what Milei called communist countries such as China. From the other side of the world, Xi Jinping, China's leader, signaled his intention to continue negotiations with Argentina. Meanwhile, he warned Milei about the importance of diplomatic language due to Argentina's potential vulnerability to China should consensus fail. Could a practical convergence be plausible despite the profound ideological and theoretical disparities of the two leaders? The prospect arises from the possible overlap in nationalist sentiments and mutual aspirations to economically improve their respective countries. Join us in exploring this intriguing possibility. Javier Milei, known for his combative style and staunch defense of the free market, has been a polarizing figure in Argentina. From his early days as an academic economist to his foray into politics, Milei has consistently challenged traditional economic policies and advocated a radically different vision for his country. Meanwhile, on the other side of the world, Xi Jinping has emerged as a dominant figure in Chinese politics. Since his ascension to leadership of the Communist Party in 2012, Xi has implemented a series of ambitious reforms, consolidating his authority and promoting a national renaissance under the slogan of the Chinese Dream. In addition, both Milei and Xi Jinping have emphasized the authority of the individual in certain contexts. While Milei advocates individual freedom and free markets as the foundations of a prosperous society, Xi Jinping has promoted the concept of national sovereignty and emphasized the importance of strengthening the authority of the Chinese state. This convergence in the emphasis on individual authority, albeit from different ideological perspectives, suggests a possible overlap in their political visions. In this video, we'll analyze the trajectory of both political leaders, the unexpected convergences, and their views on international trade. So, let's get started. From his beginnings as an economist to his foray into Argentine politics, Javier Milei's career has been marked by a genuine commitment to economic liberalism and a vocation to challenge the status quo. Javier Milei trained as an economist at the University of Belgrano, where he acquired the fundamentals of classical economic theory and immersed himself in studying free market policies. His academic training culminated with a master's degree in economics and political science at the prestigious ESEADE, where he delved into the ideas of classical liberalism. Inspired by the teachings of economists such as Ludwig von Mises, Friedrich Hayek, and Milton Friedman, Milei became a passionate advocate of free markets, private property, and minimal state intervention in the economy. His radical approach and ability to communicate complex ideas in an accessible way led him to become a leading figure in the Argentine economic debate. Milei's rise to the Argentine political scene was no accident. His tireless activism on social networks and in the media gave him a platform to spread his ideas and gain followers. In 2019, he founded the political party Libertarian, together with other liberal leaders, to bring his principles to the political arena. In the 2021 legislative elections, Javier Milei decided to run as a candidate for national deputy for the city of Buenos Aires, heading the list of the La Libertad Avanza party. His challenging campaign and straightforward rhetoric resonated with a segment of the Argentine population, obtaining a surprising result at the polls and securing his place in the National Congress. In May 2023, the presidential formula was announced, composed of Javier Milei and Victoria Villarruel. Several months later, they would win. However, Milei's participation in Argentine politics was not without controversy. His radical positions and confrontational style generated societal divisions, arousing both admiration and criticism. Some see him as a passionate defender of freedom and progress, while others criticize him as extremist and intransigent. Xi Jinping's political and economic trajectory is marked by a meteoric rise on the Chinese political scene and a profound influence on the leadership of the world's second-largest country. Born in 1953 into a prominent Chinese Communist Party family, Xi Jinping was raised in the revolutionary tradition and experienced firsthand the tumultuous events of the Cultural Revolution. His father, Xi Zhongxun, was a prominent revolutionary leader and a close ally of Deng Xiaoping, which granted Xi privileged entry into the country's political circles. Xi's political rise began in the 1980s and 1990s, when he held several leadership positions in several Chinese provinces. His tenure was characterized by a combination of pragmatic economic reforms and a firm focus on maintaining political and social stability. These experiences gave him the necessary platform to rise through the CCP hierarchy. In 2012, Xi Jinping succeeded Hu Jintao as General Secretary of the CCP and President of the People's Republic of China. From the outset, Xi made clear his determination to consolidate his authority and carry out a series of reforms to strengthen the party's power and revitalize the Chinese economy. One of Xi's most prominent initiatives has been his anti-corruption campaign, which has reached thousands of high-level officials and sent a clear signal about his commitment to ethical governance and discipline within the party. On the economic front, Xi Jinping has promoted a series of reforms aimed at a more sustainable and balanced growth model. Under his leadership, China has sought to boost technological innovation, improve environmental quality, and promote international cooperation through the Silk Belt and Road Initiative. At the same time, Xi has reaffirmed the party's central role in economic decision-making and advocated socialism with Chinese characteristics as a path to national development and national revitalization. And hey, if you're liking this video, I invite you to like it and subscribe to the channel. That would be very rewarding for us. So let's continue. Both Milei and Xi recognize the importance of economic and social stability for the development of their respective countries. Although Milei advocates a liberal free market approach, his emphasis on reducing state intervention and fostering an enabling environment for investment and entrepreneurship ultimately seeks to promote economic stability. Similarly, despite leading a country with a different economic and political system, Xi Jinping has prioritized stability as a cornerstone of his governing strategy. His anti-corruption campaign and his focus on discipline within the party reflect his concern for maintaining political stability while boosting economic growth. Milei, from his position as a political leader, has defended Argentina's economic sovereignty and independence from external influences, advocating policies that protect national interests in the economic and commercial spheres. Xi, for his part, has taken a firm stance in defending China's interests on the global stage, seeking to strengthen China's position as a world power. Xi Jinping has a plan for how the world should work, and a year into his third term as China's leader, he's stepping up his push to challenge the U.S. global leadership and bring his vision to the forefront. Xi's vision, though shrouded in abstract language, encapsulates the Chinese Communist Party's nascent drive to reshape an international system it sees as unfairly tilted in favor of the United States and its allies. Viewed as a rival by those countries as it becomes increasingly assertive and authoritarian, the Beijing government has come to believe that now is the time to change that system and the global balance of power to ensure China's rise and to reject initiatives that counter it. In recent months, Beijing has promoted its alternative model through major policy documents and new global initiatives, as well as speeches, diplomatic meetings, forums, and international gatherings, large and small, with the aim of winning support from around the world. For many observers, this campaign has raised concerns that a world modeled after Beijing's rules is also one in which features of its iron-fisted autocratic regime, such as heavy surveillance, censorship, and political repression, could become globally accepted practices. But China's push comes at a time when U.S. wars abroad, the instability of a foreign policy that changes election after election, and deep political polarization have intensified questions about U.S. global leadership. Meanwhile, pressing issues such as climate change, Russia's war in Ukraine, and Israel's assault on Gaza have sharpened the debate over whether the West is taking the right approach in responding. For Javier Milei's part, during his campaign, he espoused an ideological view of international relations, but as president, he's been pragmatic on trade ties. After elections marked initially by citizen insecurity and then by the difficult economic situation Argentina's going through, Javier Milei comes to the presidency with a series of radical recipes that it remains to be seen to what extent he'll apply them. In terms of foreign policy, Milei has not been very specific, beyond presenting himself as an anti-communist crusader. Although he will strengthen relations with the United States and Israel, he'll also have to assume large doses of pragmatism, especially in economic relations with Brazil and China. His election will add water to the impetus of the Latin American left in the reactivation of CELAC and UNASUR. Although foreign policy played a residual role in Argentina's presidential elections, in debates, speeches, and interviews, the main candidates gave a glimpse of their ambitions. Topics such as the functionality of Mercosur, the role of China, the sovereignty of Malvinas, or even relations with the Holy See came up recurrently. In general terms, Javier Milei's candidacy maintained an ideological vision of international relations, marked by anti-communism and the rejection of governments that do not respect the ideas of freedom. The new president expressed in a debate his intention to align Argentina with the United States, Israel, and all those countries that belong to the free world, as well as the institutional distancing with Brazil and China. The latter two countries are currently Argentina's main trading partners, so there is a risk that the new government's stance may harm those exchanges. Regarding the latter, both governments have already faced certain tensions, mainly due to the words of Javier Milei regarding their foreign policy with China. Both political leaders, mostly in Argentina, should cooperate with each other for the economic benefit of their countries. Milei's wish is to be able to have the United States as his largest trading partner. But now China is his most important trading partner. Although their foreign policy vision differs mainly in an ideological way, both know that convergence in international negotiations is something that must continue to be exercised. Although Milei and Xi Jinping have opposing economic ideologies, they both implement economic policies that capture considerable attention from the rest of the world. With all this, they also agree on the need to negotiate shrewdly to achieve their larger goals and improve their nation's economies. Now I ask you who are watching this video, do you think Milei and Xi can converge despite appearances? Let me know your answer in the comment box. And if you like the video, I invite you to subscribe and leave your like for more videos like this one. And with that, we'll see you next time.